Hello YouTube, this is Loyal to Law once again, and this is going to be the first video for 2015. And we're now going to cover the topic on the Heaven 6, particularly the other variation of doing the Heaven 6. We all know, as you beginners and intermediate FMA practitioners, Filipino martial arts, should already know that the Heaven 6 is this motion. So it's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6, regardless of what hand you start with. Typically, the hand that you start with is your dominant hand. So if you start with your right, obviously you're a right-hander, and if you're using your left, you're a left-hander. So that's the Heaven 6. And the Heaven 6 usually is, the range is from the top of the head, or usually the head, up until the diaphragm part of the body. So it's mostly upper torso. So that's Heaven 6. And we also know that the other variation, or the common variation, is doing the Heaven and Earth 6, which includes hitting the lower portion. So instead of just doing this motion on the upper body, we're now going to include the lower portion. It's 1, 2, low, 3, 4, 5, and 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. Now the other variation that I'm going to show you, audience, is mostly on the empty-handed side. And it's just something that you can play with, something fun that you can do so that you're not going to be entirely bored in doing the Heaven 6, because you can only do this motion so much, even going low, kneeling down. See, it's the same pattern of 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. Now this variation is empty-handed, as I said, and it's going to be a little bit different, a bit confusing at first, but it's not that difficult to do. So instead of doing this motion, we're going to do this motion. See? Once again, instead of doing this, I'm going to do this. So, to break it down, instead of starting the Heaven 6 with your dominant hand, so if you're a lefty, you're going to start with your left on top and your right hand at the bottom. For right-handed people, it's going to be right on the top and your left hand on the bottom. So this is the usual position of the Heaven 6. The other version that I just showed you, which is mostly for the empty hand, you start your dominant hand. Instead of at the top, you're going to start at the bottom. And your non-dominant hand, so if you're a lefty, your non-dominant hand will be your right. For righties, your non-dominant hand will be your left. So you're actually going to hold your bicep, or tap your bicep at least. So instead of doing this for the 1, 2, you're doing this for the 1, 2, the other variation. So it's 1, and then 2. So in theory, it's kind of similar when you're going to do a parry. So if you're going to do a parry, say an assailant punches you, if you're going to do the first 2 motions of the Heaven 6, so it's this motion, so it's like that for the normal Heaven 6. But on this variation, you're starting from the bottom. So instead of doing this, so parry, and then you check, you start from the bottom. So parry, and then check. Now, from this motion, or from this position, after checking, you do a right straight or right cross. So you can do it in place, so you just torque your torso so that you'll be able to punch straight like that across your body, across the center line. Or, if it's easier for you, take a step with your left leg. Sorry about that. You can step with your left leg to slightly push your assailant off balance, and then you do a right straight or right cross. So instead of doing this, like so, I'm going to do like that. That's what you want to do with this kind of variation. So after this here, from here, we now have to check here, then do the same thing. So it's kind of like mirroring your dominant side. So once again, from here, then like so. To do it slowly, your dominant hand, if you're righty, is at the bottom. Your non-dominant hand, your left, if you're righty, is on top. So you're almost going to do it simultaneously or at the same time. So when you parry, so it's parry and check. Notice that I'm actually slightly leaning backwards towards my dominant side. So I'm actually putting weight on my lead leg, like so. So I'm not just standing here straightly square to my opponent. I'm actually imagining that I'm dodging my opponent's attack, in this case a punch for example, and then guiding it away from my head or away from the line of attack on where I was. So parry and then check. You can take a step back. If you are not comfortable just leaning, so step back. Then either you can take a step with your left leg, right leg for those who are left-handers, left leg while slightly pushing your opponent off balance, and then do a right straight or right cross. Then from here, parry, check, take another step, then left straight. You can actually replace the straight punches with hooks, but depending on the situation, it might take a little more time because you're actually going to do this motion. So, see, or an elbow if your opponent is really close. But for demonstration purposes, for you to easily see, you can just do the straight punches. So once again, the difference between the normal heaven 6 and this other variation is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. The other variation is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. Again, see? Now the reason why you want to shoot off or punch across your body as opposed to just punch straight is so that you'll be able to practice doing the follow through. So when you do follow through, yeah, theoretically when you just stop here, you'll be hit by a lot of things because you're widely open. But in reality, when you do this, you're actually out of the way because number one, you took a step with your other leg, in this case my left leg. So it helped me follow through with my punches. And number two, because of my step with my left leg and my follow through with my right straight, it helps me, the momentum helps me to just go straight to this line so that I'll be able to escape the danger that came towards me a while ago. So yeah, that's it for the Heaven 6 variation for the empty hand. And if you practice with your dominant side, you should also practice the same amount, if not double the amount, to your non-dominant side. So if you're righty, you should double your practice with your left, and vice versa. So there you have it. It's not that complicated. Just be careful not to speed it up just for doing it fancily. It's very applicable, and it's very efficient and effective depending on how you use it. So practice it very slowly. Break it down. If you want or if you need to, just replay the part of this video and go from there. So again, it's going to be parry from the bottom, check, step through, and punch. Now dominant hand now goes to parry here, check, then punch. Okay, so that's it for this video. Hope that you would practice this, and hopefully it helps. So for everyone else out there, if I haven't greeted you already, Happy New Year! And it's late already, it's 2 weeks now. So, thank you so much, and hope this video helped you, even in the smallest way possible. God bless you all, always stay safe, and take care.